Meet the Simbas. Bold, aggressive, and hungry to see Africa succeed. They are some of Southern Africa's finest industry leaders who started off with nothing. Chamo Chiwanza, the local maverick, has companies in security, real estate, and transport, to name a few. Ritesh Anand is a leading global fund manager with over 15 years of investment experience. Florence Ziyumbe, a successful corporate lawyer and one of the first women to have her own legal firm in Zimbabwe. Nigel Chanakira, he is the fearless executive chairman of Success Motivation Institute. Gary Thompson, today he's one of the biggest names in marketing and advertising in Zimbabwe. 2 innovators, 5 Simbas. If their pitch is compelling enough, they walk away with a life-changing deal. If not, they leave with nothing.
My name is Michael. I co-founded a company called Hackshake. Essentially, it's supposed to make hardware development in sub-Saharan Africa easier. So what I'm looking for from the Simbas is that I get mentorship, and then I also get funding for the initial stages of the development of my company. Afternoon, Simbas.
Afternoon.
My name is Michael. I founded a company called Hackshake. So when I was doing a course, an electronic communications course, I wanted to build a piece of hardware which would close your curtains when it got dark. It would help you use a Raspberry Pi and some other things. So I had to buy these components. So when I looked for them locally, they were unavailable, and those that were there were available at ridiculous prices. So then after some time I did develop what I wanted to develop, and then people started asking me where I got the components because I had shipped them from overseas. Then that's when Hackshake was born. So I started shipping components for people from overseas. So Hackshake, essentially what it does, it brings together the solutions that one needs to develop. That's the tools, the services, and it also creates a community which people can gain the expertise to develop. This community, we called it Hackshake Creatives, and essentially that's what it's supposed to do. So during the traction that we've gained so far, during the first week of beta testing, we managed to get orders worth $1,136. This was during 2 days of testing. So what we've done so far is that we've developed a store which we're in the process of stocking, and then we have the working model where they can tell us what they want, and then we ship it and reduce shipping by shipping them in bulk. So in terms of the ask, I'm here to ask for $12,500 in exchange for a 10% stake in Hackshake.
And what will be the expected return if we were to invest $12,500 in the business?
Over how long? Because I offered it 10%.
I'm expecting you to entice me to invest in your project.
Okay. The 10%, what you would expect to get, I expect that you get, during the first year, you get 15% back on what you've invested.
I'm not hearing exactly what you're expecting. What turnover are you going to get if you spend this 12,000?
All right, the turnover we'll get is that they are the services that we offer, right?
Yes.
So these services, that's where we're getting money from, is from giving the service and the sales of the store that we have online.
So what's your turnover in the first year?
In the first year, like I said, last year we were beta testing, but the product that we've sold so far, like I said, over the last...
What is your turnover for next year?
For next year, I expect to make around 50,000.
Is that a guess or this is real?
No, these were projected using figures from how many people need to do projects in the country and how many classes for science, engineering, and mathematics are there in the country.
So what's the impact of the new STEM that we're hearing? I mean, technology is big in terms of education, not only in Zimbabwe, but within the region. What are you seeing there?
Okay. I think that in Zimbabwe, we have people with the expertise, but like I said, sometimes when you're looking for these things, your enthusiasm can die down simply because you cannot get access to what you want to build.
Let's hold it there a second. So, Nigel, you're getting an education for free here. Let's just make an offer or not make an offer. Ritesh, you're pretty,
I gotta check this guy out because this guy's onto something.
Is there a deal happening?
He's onto something. You know, STEM, this whole science, maths, technology craze in Africa, we got to be doing this stuff.
Yeah, but Nigel, you're a numbers man. Your numbers don't add up.
Coming up after the break.
From your presentation, I hear you denigrating simulation.
Okay.
But that's the progression of technology, isn't it?
This guy can't manage stock, Chamu. This guy's going to get lost. He's going to blow your money away very quickly unless he actually gets the right counsel.
All right, let's meet halfway, Nigel.
Michael is promising a 15% return on investment. He's got to prove that his business model works, or else his startup might not start. $12,000 for 10% of the company.
Nigel, you're getting an education for free here. Let's just make an offer or not make an offer. Ratish, you're pretty,
I gotta check this guy out because this guy
is there a
onto
deal
something.
happening?
He's onto something. You know, STEM, this whole science, maths, technology craze in Africa, we gotta be doing this
Yeah,
stuff.
but Nigel, you're a numbers man. Your numbers don't add up. You said to us earlier that you're projecting $50,000.
There are 2 semesters in a year. And we catered for things like, if you notice, we reduced that figure because it's not everyone who actually
Okay, that's
buys.
fine. What's your margin?
Okay, I usually, all right, 15% is what we add on top of the things that we do. And because we get them direct from the manufacturers and cut out the middleman, our cost is still lower than everyone else who's supplying this.
So then you're just a distribution business, aren't you?
No, we also develop, like I said, we also develop hardware ourselves.
Okay, so gentlemen, I think that we need to stop making a deal here or
Just
not
wait,
making
I'm
a deal.
I'm not finished yet.
You gotta get the
What-
business model right.
All right, well, let's see
Wait,
if
wait,
that education helps get a deal.
Chinese, so you're sourcing it from China today.
Yeah, like I said, we have a deal we're not sourcing from China. We're sourcing from the United States and the UK.
Can I ask you something, Michael? From your presentation, I hear you denigrating simulation.
Okay.
But that's the progression of technology, isn't it? To get back to where we're trying to run away from?
No, I'm not trying to get back from one we're running away. When you're doing, like I said, when you're doing a project, it's the whole course of the project. And simulation is one of the things that are required within the course. So essentially what is going out these days is not complete. Because what they are testing is not whether you can simulate, but whether you can build the product.
I like this guy. This guy seems to be onto something. He's onto, he knows his stuff. I like this guy. But tell me, parts, components, this can get very, very complex in terms of stocking the wrong thing, the right thing. Okay, so what stock level, I'm onto something here. What stock level are you going to maintain and how are you going to do the stock management? People are going to steal from you, these startups, you guys. Stock management is the name of the game. Tell me how you're going to manage your stock.
All right, in terms of stock management, I'm more of a techie than someone who manages stock. So those are one of the things that I would need to do as I grow. Okay. What I'm mainly focused on is the technical side. If you tell me to build a system, I can do that.
Okay, so you need help on the stock, the
and
accounting.
The distribution.
Okay,
yes.
All right, I get you.
Michael,
yes.
I think you're a nice guy, like what Nigel said. But being a techie, probably a person who lives his life in technology, you know very well that developers are now more simulation than anything else. And for that reason, I'm out.
Michael, I'll pick up on Chamo's point. Can't echo it enough. You're a super smart, super passionate man who's latched onto this because it's the first thing that you've got onto. But I think you're going to have some hard lessons to learn that commerce isn't quite like what you're bringing to us on the numbers. So commercially, I know you want to say something. You want to fight that point? I think I'd go with you. I don't know if I'd go with the business that you're in. But for that reason, I'm out.
Here's what I'm going to do. I like you. I think you're a geek. You're a typical tech geek that out of university, but you have no commercial background or very commercial, no commercial mind. I'm prepared to assist you in developing this business and taking it to the next level, helping you with the financials. But also thinking a little bit more about distribution, because that's where you're going to fail, is on distribution, and perhaps aligning yourself with a distributor, in-country distributor, that has specialist knowledge of this. So I'm prepared to do that for 10% of your company.
That's a bit steep.
You need advice. You're going to get lost without technical advice.
All right, throw in 5,000 with the advice, and then I'll be able to.
Oh, this guy's grown up commercially quite quickly, Ratish.
It's good.
Flo, what do you think?
I think I would be in, but I would commit 5,000 only.
5,000.
So you've got your 5,000 for 10%. I'll come down to 5% for all the additional commercial services.
Yeah, but
that
he
I'll
needs,
provide.
he needs a bit of cash. Put some
Yeah,
cash.
He's got
because
five.
He's got five. He's got
five.
half,
That's what he
almost
wants.
half
He needs
of
a
what
bit
he
of
was
cash.
He's
Put some cash, Ritesh. Put
got-
some
he's got
cash.
five.
you have to make some commitment.
Yeah. Put some cash. You're a
Okay.
businessman.
I'll put $2,500 plus my time for 10%.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Is that a deal?
All right, Nigel.
Do you still need an advisor?
I do. Because
Or you want my name?
no, as you highlighted, right, I'm more of a technical person.
Okay.
So a lot of advice would go a long way in terms
So
of...
what would you pay for my advice? I charge $1,000 a day. How many days you want?
No, but Nigel, you must top up so that he's got the 12,000 that he needs.
No, it's
Yes,
a
but-
low
No,
margin business.
because we
It's a
want
low-
him-
It's a low margin business. This guy can't manage stock, Chamu. This guy's going to get lost. He's going to blow your money away very quickly unless he actually gets the right counsel.
All right, let's meet halfway, Nigel. You make a commitment in future after I meet a certain sales level
Okay.
to invest money into the business.
Okay, so I have an option.
Yes,
That's what
you
we
have
call
an
it.
option
I have an
at the
option.
end
So
of the
for
period.
1 year, I'm going to give you advice, all the
All right.
advice that you need alongside these guys. After a year, when his systems are in place, he's got what? I'll give you the balance. How's that?
Then I'm happy for you as well. If you know, take the deal.
Okay, yeah. If you give me the balance,
I give you the balance. on
Okay,
you
so we're
meeting
getting
the
somewhere.
Performance targets.
Performance
but
target.
Yeah, but up front, I've got an equity stake off. Compute that. You know, where are you? You in Bulawayo?
yes.
Are you going to buy my ticket to come to Bulawayo?
So let's do the percentages right now. Florence, you've got 10%. Ritesh, you've got 5%.
10.
10 with 2,500 in. Nigel?
I think 10 so that we can have 25%, 10%.
Man, you're
so that
driving
we
a
got
hard bargain.
25%.
So 30%,
So,
you meet the target, but it's spread over options in a year.
okay, I think we have ourselves a deal.
Okay.
Wow.
Good.
Thank you.
With STEM, I think we're going to go places.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You were very good.
It'll be nice to meet you.
Fantastic.
Well, I didn't get what I wanted in terms of equity to amount invested, but I believe I'll learn a lot from the Simbas, and then, yeah, I'm ready to grow my business.
He's pretty cool.
I think the only thing is
That
you've
is
got
the-
to check the market.
For me, that's a typical intelligent Zimbabwean that you expect to see
But
presenting.
well done, Simbas, for putting some cash for a change.
Chamo,
You know what, Chamo? I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to
It's
give you
just,
my-
you know,
well done for being a cheerleader. See, we're on the edges. I just needed a pom-pom.
let me tell you, this guy was on point, articulate. He explained his product, his thinking is clear. And I think if STEM is going to be a success, this guy will fly.
Coming up after the break.
What we are looking at is we've seen that we can make this as a Pan-African operation. We are a team of young entrepreneurs and we understand the value of experience. And we know some of you Simbas have run operations beyond Zimbabwe and we would like to tap into that. My name is Tawanda Chikosi. I'm the founder and CEO of Road Rules. It's a small startup company that is looking to revolutionize the way people get driver's licenses in Zimbabwe as well as in Africa. I'm really excited to be meeting the Simbas and I believe it could be a game changer for us. So I'm really, really excited to meet them. Good evening, Simbas. My name is Chikosi Tawanda. I lead a team of young entrepreneurs of two, which are really looking at revolutionizing the way people acquire driver's licenses in this country. And I'm the founder and CEO of Road Rules Solutions. One of the biggest problems that the young people in Zimbabwe face is the process of acquiring a driver's license. To put it into perspective for you, as of January to December 2014, over 210,000 set for their learner driver's license test, and 150,000 of them failed the first time. That's a failure rate of over 75%. Then we're wondering, what is it? What is the culprit? Who is the problem here with these people failing? Then more conversations with these people, we found out that the problem lies in the material they use to study and to prepare for the exam. So I've got a few things that I would like to hand out to the Simbas for you to take a look at. Cham,
Hi.
here is the abomination there of it. Tell me if you look at this and if you don't feel like crying. Nigel, there's one for you as well. And this is the material that people use. And there you
Thanks,
go.
boss.
I know you coming from a design perspective.
It's phenomenal. Looks like physics. No wonder I failed.
Right, so this is what people pay $2 to use for them to prepare for this exam. They buy them from the street corners. There's no official publisher, so they come from the poorest of standards. No one is policing this, so people want to make a quick buck, so they simply just photocopy this and then put it out there in the streets. So we created a solution, a mobile application. These are the interfaces that you can expect to see when you download our mobile application. It's called Road Rules app. Inside are the screenshots of the user experience of the mobile application. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Where the opportunity really exists is we want to computerize the testing. So what we have done is we have already spoken to the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, and we are agreeing on a revenue share model with them. We have already spoken to the Ministry of ICT because their mandate is to promote the use of ICT in Zimbabwe and with the government. What we are looking at is we've seen that we can make this as a Pan-African operation. We've already done research in Kenya. We went there. We're also looking at Nigeria because of the numbers that we see. We're charging $2, so the person downloads the mobile application, uses it for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, it logs them out and requests them to pay $2 for continued use over a period of 3 months. So we're looking for Simbas here who are interested in this, who have wide connections within government, because when we move on to the computerization of the testing, there's going to be a lot of government interaction. So we need experience dealing with government. We also need legal advice, because when you're doing transactions of this nature, there is also that element of legal coming in. We're also looking at experience running a Pan-African operation. We are a team of young entrepreneurs, and we understand the value of experience. And we know some of you Simbas have run operations beyond Zimbabwe, and we would like to tap into that. We have already registered our trademarks for this application for the design of the brand. We've also copyrighted the materials to try and see if we can protect our intellectual property. So with this, I would like to, offer you to say, if we are to make it happen, to come together, at this point in time, we're not looking for money. We're funding this ourselves out of our own savings, but we would like the advice to put all this together to assess the valuation of the company, to assess the strategy. So we're looking for Simbas who are coming to spend some time with us, mentor us, and in exchange for that process, and after we have put this together and we've made it happen, we're willing to give 45% of the company.
Oh, that's a splendid offer.
Coming up after the break.
So why are you giving up so much equity?
Yeah.
You're giving up 45% of your equity. You've got it made. You've already made inroads. I'm now concerned about you.
Okay, so here's the elephant in the room, guys. You said there's about a 3 times failure rate. We know why they're failing. It's not because of the books, it's not because of the apps, and they're failing more than 3 times.
Tawanda's starting a revolution when it comes to acquiring a driver's license. With over 7,000 app downloads, he wants mentorship and strategy for 45% of the company. Can the Simbas get him on the road to success?
Guys, this is very logical. It's exciting. But a few questions.
Yes.
So why are you giving up so much equity?
Yeah.
You're giving up 45% of your equity. You've got it made. You've already made inroads. I'm now concerned about you. This deal is too rich for us.
Yeah.
Why?
And who's we?
Okay. To start with Nigel, I'll come back to you, Cham. We do realize, in as much as we have traction in terms of the users, right? Where the real opportunity of this transaction reside is the computerization of the testing. That is with government. We want to operate it as a BOT. We build the system, we operate it for a period of maybe 3 to 5 years, then later on we surrender it to them and maybe probably get a royalty of say maybe 10 to 25%. So that kind of a transaction here in Zimbabwe requires a lot of experience and a lot of political muscle, maybe if I may say connections, to push this forward. So having a Simba involved in spending time, these are busy people, you guys are busy people. Spending time to really push this until this is done is very involving.
Okay, so here's the elephant in the room, guys. You said there's about a 3 times failure rate. We know why they're failing. It's not because of the books, it's not because of the apps, and they're failing more than 3 times. They're failing because of this. Ching ching at the point of sale. It's called pay the assessor, or whatever you want to call it. So that's probably a whole Africa-wide thing, and that's just the truth, right?
No. That's
what we believe.
I would like to disagree with you here.
Okay.
Remember, this is a provisional driver's license test.
Yes, right.
This is a multiple choice question. You sit there, you're given 25 questions on a paper. You're giving.
So there's nothing subjective at this point.
You think
It's only afterwards.
on your
Yes,
own.
it's ill preparation on your part. Maybe what
bad.
you are saying is it could apply to the practical one.
Tawanda, I'm very excited.
Thank
Not
you.
excited by the app itself, but I think by the potential that you have to provide a computer solution for what has been, pretty old-fashioned manual system that government have used for a long time. I think the only concern I have, what's proprietary about what you do? Why can't some young, bright Kenyan like you do this in Kenya?
Okay, so that is an amazing question from you, and also a difficult one that we have been pondering over a period of time since we have been, starting this. So the only defensibility that this thing has is a strategic partnership with the local traffic safety board in each and every country. So the faster we move in the implementation of these partnerships, that is where we can defend this.
I'm in. I will provide advisory services to assist you in negotiating with government on the BOT for 10% of your company.
Thank you. I'll put that under consideration pending the offers from the other Simbas.
I also bring, legal experience of many years.
Yes.
And I've also done quite a lot of work within the region. And I'm in.
Thank you. Thank you.
For how much?
For how much?
You offered 45, so I'm assuming that if all the Simbas are in, they would accept that 45, because that's
Yes.
what you've put on the table.
Exactly. So it will be amongst the Simbas to kill each other for what stake of that 45. Because what we are looking at is we are looking at a consortium of Simbas who are coming to us and say, okay, we as the Simbas Private Limited are coming in to take 45%.
That's what I would also think we
So
should
you
do.
guys amongst yourselves will come in, you kill each other for that 45. So if
So
retention
it's all
wants 10,
sweat. It's all sweat equity.
Yeah.
Gary,
I like the way you, how can I say, your entrepreneurship skills just coming out and coming out and coming out.
You make me very proud to be Zimbabwean.
Yeah, and
thank you.
and I'm in, and I'll also, as much as you have said, you don't want any financial assistance. Inevitably, in any business, there will be financial liquid will be necessary.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll be happy to assist as and when it's necessary.
All right.
So for 10%, I'll also advise you and help you with the government bureaucracy. So you have said that's my strength.
Tawanda, if your past is a reflection of your future, as Florence has said, you've got a very bright future. I want to be part of that future. I think that beyond this little country, you've got a whole continent of Africa, of vibrant young people just like you. We've got to connect with them, but we've got to connect through governments. And I'd submit, you already know your business, it's a licensing problem. I think we can help on some of the selling of that to government. So I'm in for 10% to market it.
All right.
Now, what's your core? 45% between 5 guys. You're gonna.
This is something that you guys will have to decide.
Okay.
Yeah, we just want a group of Simbas coming to us with 45%.
All right.
I'm in for 10%.
Well done. Thank you.
Very good. Well done.
Thank you, man. Gary,
Let's make it happen,
it's a
buddy.
pleasure.
And for a change on the stage, I feel threatened.
We're so happy and excited that we managed to get all 5 of them. When we came to pitch, I was actually aiming for 3 of them. But now that we have managed to get all 5 of them, I believe it's going to be a game changer for our company in terms of our growth. We believed we were already on the growth path, But now, because we already have 5 of them, I think our growth rate is going to be much faster. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to tell my team and break the news.
This makes it worthwhile, doesn't it?
Guys,
Yeah, someone's gonna have to come down 5%, people.
I would have paid a premium to get into this.
You know what? But I mean, let me tell you one thing that made me really proud about this guy. You hear so many times that Zimbabweans are just so smart, and you can see why it is said like that. This boy is amazing. His presentation. He is the only one who made it. He made it a point to make sure that he knows each and every Simba here by name.
That's the ones in the making right there.
Sorry?
That's the Chamuchi ones in the making right there.
Next week on Simba Savannah.
Let me just start by saying I think this is a very noble idea. But $110,000 just not making sense.
How do I make money from this business? That's what I'm still struggling with. Okay, based on the limited information that you have today,
Yes.
what are you projecting this business is going to make? This business model, as you call it.
This particular
What do you
business,
think you're going to make?
we expect to get a minimum of 5 to 10% in terms of profit, because there's not much that is
5 to 10% of what?
Sorry,
5 to 10% of
5
what?
to 10% profit of the sales
Of what, sir?
of the commodities that we have.
How much? How much? Dollars?